And we are back. Pokemon Infinite Fusion, a hardcore Nuzlocke. The run continues. We're making our way to the 6th gym here, but first we got two more first encounters we want to fuse together in the Venonat and the Bellossom. So we are picking the typing, picking the combination here, and let's see how this amalgamation comes out. And here we go. There it is, the Bellnat with the Bellossom face just splotched right on to the Venonat. Ridiculous. And that leads to the final evolution here in the Bellossom and Venonat, and that leaves so much to be desired, but we will add it to the PC. We make our way through Sylph Co against all the trainers, and that means we got to take on our rival once again here. So here we go. He's got 5 Pokemon at this point in the game, and his Nidgeedot comes down. The Nidoking and Pidgeot looking fantastic. Basically just your Crobat version here. We get the Yawn off. We take massive damage with our Pride and Joy Genlax. We send her to safety. Got to keep her close. Got to keep her safe as the Earth Power comes down onto Dewave, and we do the worst pivot possible. I repeat, the worst pivot possible, and now we're never going to see what the Aegislash-Primate was going to look like, and that is a devastating loss, and we eat that right on the chin. And on top of that, the levels are a lot higher than I thought because we're trying to stay under Sabrina's level 45 level cap as we drop back with a double edge, take massive damage, and we are getting absolutely bodied by our rival's first Pokemon. This is absolutely terrible as we get Greynine in there for the Intimidate, holding off the Thrash a little bit better, but we just blew our Intimidate pivot as it gets a critical hit, and we live with 8 HP. The first Pokemon absolutely destroying our squad as the Electados comes down, and if I'm not mistaken, that is an Electivire Gyarados, which looks absolutely intimidating, but it does not have Intimidate. So we send out our Vileplume, we eat the Screech on the way in. Now our defense is -2, and this is an absolute bonanza, but we are staying in. We are holding down the front line as our Crunch comes down. We get a super effective a super effective Giga Drain, healing a ton of that back. Our Shiny is doing work here, but we have to pivot to safety because that Crunch did so much. Another Screech comes down. Electados knew what we were doing. He knew what we were scheming here, and now we have 2 Pokemon bleeding out. Duowape is gone. Genlax is hurting, and I do believe we might wipe here. This could be the end for everything we hold dear. We have Marook in there. It does have the poison leftovers though in the sludge, in the black sludge, so we could heal with that, but that Screech is everything. We send Vileplume back out there, and we get a Hydro Pump pivot into our Water Absorb, which is absolutely huge. Electados calls our bluff, and we heal one more time, and Vileplume is coming in here and screaming MVP with everything she holds dear. The Intimidate comes down from Tauros, and we have a Surf lined up. It gets greedy for the work up here. We get about 40% down, so it's floating at 60% HP. A Giga Drain comes down. It's got about 30% HP left. Said Headbutt comes in. It's not super effective because we don't have the poison typing, and we take down the Bull. An absolute bonanza here as the Starburst comes down. Thankfully, it's not an Alakazam yet, so it's not as strong as it could be. We could swap right into Marook here, who has the Dark typing and cannot be touched by the Psychic. The Power Gem comes down, which is Rock, but we get a little bit of heal on top there, and we can go in with our next move. The Role Play comes down. It changes to our passive, but that's no problem as we drop back with a Stab Super Protective Feint Attack, and he is gone. That leaves Warsaw here, which is not the Blastoise, which is not the Venusaur. We drop back with a Stab Super Protective Gunk Shot, and our rival throws the fight. So we take a quick breather, grab another Pokemon to replace the one we have lost, and that leads us to this double battle with our rival against Giovanni, and I was not prepared. I was not ready for this. Keep an eye on those levels. I am happy we get the Nidgeedot here from our rival, but Electrobot comes down, and he's kind of just my sacrificial slaughter. We get a Magnet Rise in there to dodge any ground types, but the Stone Edge comes down and does miss, giving us a tiny bit of time here, but I'm not 100% sure on the typing here. Is Ryrus ground typing, or is that like a water rock? I'm not 100% sure, but we do know it's a Lapras. We do know it's a Rhydon. We go in with the Crunch, which does no damage. We take the Close Combat, which is not very effective, but we still get absolutely bodied by the brine, the Ryrus from downtown, and it makes me think it's a water ground typing, potentially. I really should have checked into this before we took the fight on, but who knows? We are flying in the air right now, or are we falling in style as Nidgeedot hurts himself from the confusion? in a close combat comes down from this Primarino here, and we just got bodied once again, and Maruk was there, and Maruk is gone, and Murkrow will never be a Honchkrow, and this run is slipping through our fingers as we send in Eero, who has been so clutch in the past with that adaptability, and the confusion is absolutely destroying our rivals Nigidot. What is happening here as the brine comes down? We tank that fairly well, but there is the Gengar, the Gengar Kangaskhan, looking so formidable, so scary as the Dark Pulse comes down. It's not sap, it's not super effective, but we hold on. He gets the Earth Power finally from the rival side of things. The Stone Edge connects, and we lose our third Pokemon. We lose our third Pokemon, and this could be the end. This could be the end of it all. I am so terrified of losing Genlax, and since it has Dark Pulse, that can exploit our one weakness on our pride and joy. So we send in our Viletoad, our secret MVP, our Dark Horse, our shiny Dark Horse here as the Dark Pulse comes down, but we take that no promise. We have a good special defense, and our rival's Pokemon is doing absolutely no damage. Nigidot absolutely bodied us last fight, and now he's just chilling. He's just smiling now, and oh my gosh, a level 51 Sand Queen comes down as the Outrage connects across the board. Another Earth Power, and Viletoad holds on, but the Giga Drain is here. The Giga Drain is here. It's neutral as that Sand Queen is probably Poison Ground. It's probably Poison Ground, but look at the levels here. The Outrage comes down from Gengar. The confusion is here. The Gyro Ball, and Ninja actually takes something for once, and we take that. We take that for what it is. A Giga Drain comes down, and it fades away on the Sand Queen. Let's go. That only leaves the Gengar. It absolutely only leaves the Gengar here. Unless Giovanni has another Pokemon in the back. The Roost comes down, and our pseudo Crobat is actually doing something on our rival side of things. We take this, we absolutely take it for what isn't. We're going to bring the ocean down on both our rivals Pokemon and the Gengar, and it was absolutely worth it as we take down Giovanni. I have no words, but we take the 3 losses and live. We live. Whew, okay. And then on top of that, where you usually get your Master Ball, this guy right here is going to give us one of the 3 Gen 2 starters in Chikorita, Cyndaquil, or Totodile, and we are going to lock in that Totodile, so let's see what we fuse that with in the future. We have now lost 10 Pokemon, and we are almost at the 6th gym. Buckle up, this is getting crazy. We then pick up a Dratini from the Celadon Game Corner, and we're going to go ahead and fuse that with the newly acquired Totodile, which is going to secure us a Dragon Water typing, which is only going to be weak to Fairy and Dragon. Absolutely beautiful. One of my favorite typings here, and look at the little guy go. We also stumble on some DNA reversers here, and we go ahead and use that on our Dragonite, and I feel like that one looks a lot better. It just really fits the theme, so we're going to rock that out. It's still Fire Fairy, and now it's called Archibald. And where we end up with our Water Dragon is going to be the Ferronair here until we get the Dragonite combo. Oh man, just look at Genlax. She looks so good. This is arguably my favorite fusion. Hold on, hold the phone. Good God. Bro, what is this fighting dojo? The Primaler comes down with a stab close combat. It almost one-shots Ferronair. Get me out of here, dude. So I kind of underestimated the dojo leader here, but thankfully we had our Chargadite here, our pseudo Charizard, and we just swap in against the Hitmontop and we clean up shop, no problem. So now it's time to choose our own Hitmon evolution. Let's see which one we end up with. We end up choosing the Hitmonchan. We do have access to all 3 elemental punches. On top of that, Hitmonchan has Iron Fist, making all of those punches do more damage. I really enjoy a nice coverage moveset, so we'll see what he can do in the future. Alrighty, that brings us to our 6th gym battle here against leader Sabrina in her Psychic type fusions. We select our 4 Pokemon to go against her 4, and she sends out the Hitmime first, the Fairy Psychic Hypno Mr. Mime combination. We send in our absolutely hideous Venomoth and Bellossom combo, who does have access to Quiver Dance. We take the Psychic up close and personal, absolutely holding on with 27 HP. We do have that poison typing holding us back, but we are okay here. We have the super effective Signal Beam. We get the Quiver Dance in. We land the Sleep Powder, and our whole plan is coming together. We have the Black Sludge as well for a little bit of healing. Each and every turn another Quiver Dance comes in. We're getting a little bit greedy here, but we need, oh my God, the Hitmime wakes up and we throw the plan out of the window. We got greedy for another Quiver Dance, but Hitmime's special defense is really good, so I got scared there as the nasty plot comes down. Hitmime is setting up for everything as we get a monstrous Shadow Ball across the battlefield. Genlax doing work. We can drop back with a Body Slam, potentially getting a Paralysis, and then maybe winning the speed battle as we get a critical hit Body Slam, doing massive damage. That stab normal typing doing amazing. Body Slam comes in, gets hit mine to the orange, but we're gonna have to tank a nasty plot Psychic. We're gonna have to tank a nasty plot Psychic. We hold on with 43 HP and fade away with the Shadow Ball, and this is looking dire. This is looking grim as the Ezreon comes down, has access to stab super effective dark typing on Genlax. So we're going to swap out into Rhydrio and see if we can take on this Espeon Umbreon combination. The Dark Pulse comes down to so much damage, but we're going to risk it all. We're going to throw Rhydrio in there, who is super slow, but has a really nice physical attack stat. We drop back with the Drill Run. It gets Ezreon to half HP. It gets graded for a Future Sight, which is absolutely beautiful. You fly up into the heavens, dodging the Dark Pulse, coming down with a big fly, taking down the second Pokemon. And Sabrina maybe on the back foot, maybe not. Alabro is here. The Future Sight's going to come down as well. We're going to fly up into the air, maybe dodging it. The Surf comes down. We take the fly for what it is. The Future Sight is gone. It doesn't even matter, but we do eat the Surf and die. Rhydrio goes down, and that leaves a 1.5 V2, or 1.5 versus 1.5 as Alabro is hurting as well. We outspeed with a crunch, and it is super effective, and the big yellow Slowbro goes down. That only leaves Genkazam. Who is Ghost Psychic, so it's 4 times weak to crunch, and we get it across. We hold on with 60 HP, and we limp out of the 6th gym battle. Let's go. But as far as this video goes, thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate it, and I will catch you on the flip. Peace.